Yo, so what is up everybody on YouTube? We are back today with a brand new video, and for today's video, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a career sim, not of a player this time, but of Lospollostv'S, obviously a great Twitch streamer, and I got this kind of idea from seeing the Flight Reacts LSK Jesser ones that Click Productions has been making. I'll definitely link him down below, a very, very good channel, and I was like, hey, why not do Los? So if you think this doesn't look like Los, I feel you. I had to try and do my best with the 2K customization options. Obviously, I do not have PC, so I could not just get his face scan. But a buzz pretty much is his most current haircut, as Jake gave him that haircut and he now kind of buzzed off the mohawk. So that is that. But here we have Los, 5'4", 195. Obviously going to be an absolute beast. I'm just playing. We're not actually going to make him 5'4". We're going to give him his little respect. Make Los 5'9" like he claims to be. 195. Not really sure exactly how much he weighs, but he's definitely lost some weight. So good for you, Los. I definitely keep up the work, dude. So we're going to put Los into the 2020 draft class and actually see where he's drafted. And as far as attributes and stuff go, we kind of made it off of kind of seeing his videos and, you know, him playing 1v1 and all that stuff. So obviously Los is a very good shooter, and that's pretty much what he's going to be specializing in. At being 5'9", he has to be a good shooter anyways. So Isaac Okura goes right there. LaMelo Ball, number 3. I'm not even sure where Los could go here. It could be anywhere in the lottery, maybe even to the late end of the first, because I honestly have no idea. It just depends on that team that wants to take that kind of liability of a 5'9" point guard. So number 5 right here, we have Anthony Edwards going to the Golden State Warriors. That would actually be pretty interesting in real life. Obi going to the Timberwolves, and of course right here, the moment we've all been waiting for, Los goes number 7 overall to the Atlanta Hawks. So they got their guy right here in Los. We're going to kind of see how this is going to work out. Obviously, they have Trigger Trey, who is an absolute crazy shooter already, and they just added another guy who has crazy shooting stats. So as you can see, Los is starting out at 75 overall, and I want you to keep in mind we did put his potential all the way up, so we can see him get better and actually have a little bit of fun with this sim. We don't want him to be bad. We want Los to be as good as he possibly can be without obviously making him like Giannis. So Giannis gets MVP right here. James Wiseman actually gets Rookie of the Year. And Anthony Edwards gets 6th Man of the Year, which is kind of interesting. Both rookies. Looking at the standings real quick. Ooh, okay. So we are the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference this year. And let's see how our boy Los did. Wow, they hoed Los and didn't give him any playing time in this first season, boys. So that's tough. He did go up an overall point, but I was definitely hoping to see some Los playing time for sure. Maybe at that backup point guard position. But hey, it is only year 1, so it is okay. Next year, I'm sure Los is going to get in a very increased workload. The Hawks actually do make the playoffs, obviously. They're got a first-round matchup up against the Pacers, who actually upset them. And, you know, that probably wouldn't have happened if you had my guy Los getting some tick. Because as you can see, he was a DNP, did not play. That is tragic. And let's see who kind of wins the finals in the first year. You got Luka versus Giannis. And Giannis actually pulls out with the Bucks 4-2. So moving into year 2 of this sim, let's see. They better be giving our guy some playing time, as they are. He's the 8th man off the bench at a 78 overall. So you definitely like to see it. Los could definitely do some stuff for this team off the bench. Kind of being that Trey when Trey's not in all honesty. Both undersized guards that can shoot the rock like crazy. So definitely interested to see how this year plays out. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we are. Giannis gets himself yet another MVP. And how did we do? We did make playoffs, but we went from the 2nd seed to the 8th seed, which is not nice. Los, 12.8 points per game. Definitely solid. Let's see what he's shooting from that 3. 43%. That's actually higher than Trey by a little bit. So that's kind of cool to see. Trey's shooting 42. You're shooting 43. And going to the playoffs, they actually threw Los into that 2-guard position. Not sure how 5'9" 2-guard really gonna work. This is gonna be a very bad defensive point guard and shooting guard. But hey, we'll give it a try. The Splash Bros are here to shine. We got 2 absolute bucket getters in our guard position. So let's see how it works out, honestly, in the first playoff game with them 2 together. We got a matchup up against the number 1 seeded Milwaukee Bucks. And obviously Giannis Antetokounmpo. So let's see. we're actually making it a series. And we actually beat them in 6. That's crazy. Trae Young dropping 46 points. A nice 15 there from our guy, Los. And apparently we just beat Giannis, so that's pretty crazy. Moving into the second round here, we're up against a Cavs team that is kind of lackluster, honestly. So we get the dub there in 5. Trae dropping 20. Los, not so great that game, only 8, but we will take it. A dub is a dub. Moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, already in the sim, up against a healthy Kevin Durant and Kyrie, which is definitely not what you hope to be playing, but we'll see what we can do. As we find ourselves down 3-1, and we actually get knocked out 4-1. Los only dropping 10 in that game. And at least we lost to the champs. The Nets actually go on to beat the Grizzlies in the championship. So here we go. Year 3, obviously year 2 was already crazy. Year 3, they're starting Los again in that 2-guard position next to Trae Young. So, like I said, that's just kind of an interesting matchup of guards. Giannis, yet again MVP. That's 3 years straight. Did we make playoffs this year? We did not. We missed it by about 1 or 2 wins, coming in that 9th slot. 15.7 points per game for Los, 85 overall now. Obviously, he's doing his thing. We're moving right on the year 4, so hopefully this team can kind of get it right. Obviously, they have Los starting alongside Trigger Trae still. Trae at 96, Los at an 87, Cam Reddish, John Collins, Miles Turner. It's a very, very good team, so this team can compete for a championship. Jalen Johnson right there with the Pistons actually getting himself an MVP. And let's see these standings. We slip in there in the 8th seed, so it's better than not making the playoffs. I will take it. Los, 16.4 points per game. Now an 89 overall. This man is going up like crazy. 45% from 3. Between him and Trigger Trae, there's a whole lot of 3-point shooting there. And honestly, the Hawks just have a lot of guys that can shoot the ball. You know, John Collins, Cam Reddish, like Kevin Huerter, like they all can shoot the ball, and that's really something that the Hawks kind of have built around. Unfortunately, though, in the first round, we are not getting an upset here as we lose 4-1 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And kind of interested to see how Los played in that game. Not too hot, but we will take it. Moving into year 5, let's see what's... And in year 5, our team is yet again looking solid. But I kind of just skipped through the actual playoffs and stuff for this year because we did miss playoffs yet again, and it was kind of a not so great year. So we're just going to push right into year 6 and see what's going on in year 6. Year 6, here we go. So Trigger Trae, they actually now decided to finally put Los off the bench as the bench point guard at a 93 overall. So that's pretty crazy to have your 6-man off the bench coming as a 93. Obviously, that's extremely crazy. That's like a way upgraded version of Lou Will coming off your bench. This is what his stats were kind of looking like year to year. He had a good year last year, but we just could not manage to really do anything, make the playoffs or anything, which definitely sucked. Tyrese Halliburton actually ends up getting MVP with the Detroit Pistons, and I'm kind of interested to see how our team played out this year. And wow, once again, another lackluster year. I guess this combo of them's really not working together, probably defensive-wise. Obviously, offensively, they are a powerhouse, but having a 5'9" 2-guard and a 6'1" point guard kind of playing together, it's definitely not going to be working out so well. Year 7 of the sim, let's see what we got. So in year 7, Trae is at a 98 and Los is at a 95 overall. These two together is obviously something like crazy in all honesty, but we got to do something about it. We need to make some wins happen this year. Los obviously starting to get a lot of Hall of Fame badges and just getting better overall. Cam Reddish still here as well as John Collins. James Wiseman actually gets MVP, and we do not make playoffs yet again. And if I'm Los, honestly, the first chance I get, I'm probably going to walk from this team. He's over a 20-point per game scorer now. They already have their point guard that they want for the future, and he just needs something else. But in year 8, he is still here under contract. He apparently got second team all defense. Apparently, Los's defense isn't so bad, I guess. Over time, I guess he's getting better and better, and his stats are going up in it. But whatever. Giannis MVP right there. Checking out the standings. Let's finally make the playoffs. There we go. 8th seed, but we will take it after so many playoff-less years. Los actually leading the team in scoring this year above Trae Young. 23.4 points per game. and 48% shooting from the three. So that's insane. He was a first-time All-Star this year, and he did make the All defensive first team. So pretty crazy season for Los and the Hawks in general, honestly. DeAndre Hunter at that 3, John Collins at the 4. This is a solid team, so we're going to see if we can maybe even pull something out in the playoffs this year. First round matchup is up against Los's favorite team, actually, the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo is still holding down that center position. As we do lose in 6, despite Los dropping a 30 bomb on their heads. So he gave his best effort, but we still couldn't get it done. We're going to see what we got moving into year 9 of the sim. Hopefully Los is going to leave here soon. I believe his contract was up, so let's see. So sometimes it glitches out like this, and you have to like sim in like a week for them to actually get themselves signed somewhere. So not really sure why, but let's see where Los ended up signing. So 98 overall, Los is where? Where is Los at? He's on the Magic, so let's see what this Magic team that is looking like that Los just joined. So this Magic squad. Okay, so he's running that 2-guard position right now. Theo Maledon, Caleb Houston, Jalen Green. Oh, wow, that's a really good team. That is a super good team. They have a 4.5-star proficiency, so Luka Doncic gets MVP, by the way. 4th seed in the East for the Magic. That's a really good record, really good team. 23.6 points per game for Los. Now at a 99 overall, shooting still 44% from the 3. And as far as I'm concerned, this team is an absolute contender to win the championship this year. Because, like, this team is just stacked, honestly. I don't know how they even had the cap room to sign Los, but we will take it. He is on a 1-year deal, so maybe something like that. Maybe he works something out. We're up against the Bucks in the first round, and we find ourselves up 3-0 already on them as we sweep them clean 4-0. Let's kind of look at the stats for that real quick and see what happened, honestly, because that's kind of insane. So Los didn't even play that big of a part in it, only 11 points, and they were still able to do that. Second round matchup up against Tyrese Halliburton and the Detroit Pistons. They could not get out on top, though. Los dropping a 30 bomb with Jalen Green dropping 26. Moving to the Eastern Conference Finals up against the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, a very good team. We find ourselves up 3-2, and it goes to 7, and we actually get the dub. We will have to take that. Jalen Green dropping a 35 bomb. Los only putting up 15, but hey, 15 will get it done. So here's the finals. Ja Morant, DeAndre Hunter, Jaren Jackson Jr., and the Memphis Grizzlies. We find ourselves up 3-1, and we are going to hop into the Simcast and see what's going on. We have a... Right away, Los gets himself a backcourt. Come on, dude. There's no cheesy tots there. But 10-point game, like I said. 102 left in the game. So we're going to see what's going on, honestly. Ja Morant up here. And Los actually comes away with the steal, so that is a big play right there. Obviously, they're not coming back, but still, the hustle and grit is shown. He looks so tiny on the court, dude. It's crazy. But let's see what Los got in him. Little dribble move action, and he actually gets himself fouled. Okay, Los. Definitely going to hit these, because you know how Los is a shooter. Los drains them both. And 18 left right here. Let's see what's going on. Nothing crazy happened in that little bit of time. We clamped them up as always. Los top of the key, kind of. Boom. 3. So we will take that. Los Green's up a 3. Clutch master. So here we go. End of the game. 15-point dub on the Grizzlies. Lospollostv'S gets himself his first NBA championship. Look at him right there. All hype with the boys. This is crazy. Lospollostv'S is potentially the MVP? Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if Los got MVP. So we're going to have to see. There's a lot of good players in this team, but baby, he did. As you can kind of just see everything going crazy. And I definitely want to show you a few of these pictures of Los with the championship, because I think it's kind of funny him next to some of the guys in these pictures. They're showing Los greening up that 3 right there. Just look how much smaller he is than everybody else. It's kind of hilarious. Look at him. It looks like it's his son, dude. It looks like it's literally his son. And especially the one picture. But as you can see, Los didn't even have that great of a game. He shot 4 for 12 that game, but we still got it done. So let's see who the finals MVP actually ended up being. So let's see. Who is it? Is it Los? No, it is our center, Neil Benjamin. That's tragic. Moving into year 10 of the sim, yet again, Los is a free agent. If you remember, he was on that 1-year contract, so we're going to have to sim in about a week to see what team he actually signs with. For God knows what reason, because 2K's all glitchy. But let's see where Los actually ends up going. Kind of interested to see if maybe he returns to the Magic or what actually happens. So let's see. Pollos, let's see where he is. Okay, so Los does return to the Magic. You like to see it. There he is, right at that 2-guard position. And Theo Maledon playing the 1. But Jalen Green is actually getting way better. So we're going to move Los back to that original point guard position he came in the league as. So that's what our starting rotation is looking like. An absolute bomb squad for Los and the Magic. So in year 10, Luka is still out here getting himself some MVPs. But now with the Miami Heat actually. Us and the Magic actually get the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. Los, over 20 points per game, 20.5 points per game. Jaylen Brown, 22. Obviously, everyone needs a little bit of piece of the pie on this team because there's a lot of talented players. So you can't take anything away from Los here. Obviously, an NBA champion, 1-time All-Star, 3-time All-First defensive team, which is crazy. And you can see he's starting to get a lot of Hall of Fame badges and such. Getting better and better. So kind of interested to see who our first round matchup is going to be. These are what the rotations are looking like. Yet again, you can get a little peek. And 4.5 star proficiency heading into the playoffs. So our first round matchup is up against the Chicago Bulls. Now, who do the Chicago Bulls have right now? Let's take a look. LaMelo Ball, Jalen Johnson, Zach LaVine still off the bench. Wow. So they definitely have a very solid team. We find it 2-2. They get it 3-2, and they actually end up knocking us out 4-2, despite 24 points right there from Los. So heading into year 11, yet another year he signed a 1-year deal. So we're going to have to find out where Los goes yet again. So let's see where he ends up. Let's type in Pollos once again. And let's see, our boy Los, 97 overall, is now on the Washington Wizards. Los is trying to break a record for the most teams in the NBA that he could possibly join at this point. I'm going to see if he just keeps doing this every year, honestly. So, let's see. He is their starting point guard. Nico is moved to their 2-guard. They have Kristaps Porzingis as their starting center. Pretty solid team. Definitely could make the playoffs and maybe do a little bit of damage in the playoffs. So, about a 4-star proficiency. Luka Doncic gets back-to-back MVPs with the Miami Heat. Let's see. Los, all defensive first team. Yet again, definitely very solid. And let's see what's going on with the squad. Did we make playoffs? We did not. 37 wins. That is tough. I thought this team was definitely capable of making it. 23.2 points per game from Los. Shooting a whopping 44% from 3. Still draining those 3 balls like it is absolutely nothing. As, I guess we're just going to hop into year 12, and Los is now with the Portland Trailblazers. Yet again, another 1-year deal. I don't know why he keeps doing this to himself, but he is their starting point guard. This is not a bad team, but not a great team, so we're going to see what ends up happening. I think that they're better than that Wizards team, but who knows. James Wiseman gets MVP with the Detroit Pistons. And let's take a look around. Let's see if Los is ending up on any of the things here. All-NBA third team in that guard spot. Definitely a dub. And wow, this team's actually the 4th seed in the West. So I guess I was wrong. 25.3 points per game for Los. Very, very solid. Obviously, he gets another All-Star appearance in this year. This is what the rotations are looking like. And interesting. Ooh, PJ Washington off the bench. I didn't even notice that. But definitely interested to see how the playoffs go here, for sure. Because I, for one, didn't think this team was going to be that good. But first round of the playoffs, we're up against the Dallas Mavericks. Rui Hachimura and Jarrett Allen are on the team. And we actually end up beating them 4-2. Definitely solid. Wow, Los dropped 53 in Game 6, boys. That's crazy. Shooting 7 for 12 from 3. Wow. Second round, we're up against Kobe White and Cade Cunningham. Never an easy matchup when you're going up against Cade. but we actually do find a way and beat him. Cade dropping 21, but Los obviously coming out with even more firepower, going to the Western Conference Finals up against Jackson Hayes, Scotty Lewis, Dior Johnson, a very, very talented Houston Rockets team. So we're going to see what we can do here. Down 2-0, 3-0, and it's not looking good for us, boys. We get cleanly swept 4-0, despite Los dropping 34 in that final game. So yet again, moving into year 13, classic Los went and signed another deal with another team. We're going to Sacramento, apparently. We're going to go play with the Sacramento Kings. Los is their point guard, the team that we did just beat in the playoffs. I guess Kobe White dipped, so they got us. Cade Cunningham is our 2 guard, so that's going to definitely be a problem for a lot of teams. Luka Doncic gets yet another MVP with the Miami Heat. And this kind of guard pairing of Los and Cade is going to be an absolute problem come playoffs. So we're going to see what happens. Finished the number 1 seed in the West. Definitely very good. Cade Cunningham barely. Oh wow, they averaged the same amount of points on the season, 22.4 points per game. Los shooting 45% from 3. See all of Los's accolades. Obviously, he's an absolute beast and a bucket. First round, we are up against the Los Angeles Lakers. So we're gonna see what we can do here. Up 3-2, so it's looking good for us as long as we don't choke here, boys. So let's see what we got. 4-2, boom, we knock them out in 6. Los, nothing too crazy there, but he didn't need anything too crazy. Second round matchup up against Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, and they stood no chance as we actually cleanly sweep them. 4-0, Los dropping a 27 bomb. Western Conference Finals up against the Denver Nuggets, and Imani Bates and Pollos actually playing for them too still. We beat them in 5, 4-1. Imani Bates having a very good game. Bol, very good game. Los not having to do too much. So, Detroit Pistons in the finals, a very good team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Tyrese Halliburton. We're going to see what we can do. It's all tied up at 2-2. 3-2, we are down. So we need a big game here. Of course, when it's something like this, we're hopping into Simcast and seeing what we could do. Hopping in right here. As you can see, we definitely do have the lead, so it's good to see. Since we have this huge lead, why not let me pool a couple with Los just for the hell of it, just to see how the jump shot is. And the first one is absolutely broke with 15 seconds left. Los playing defense just looks funny, dude. But we still have 8.7. Let me try and get 1 bucket with Los. 1 bucket for the sim, guys. Let's see if I can do it real quick. So 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, let's go, baby. That looks good. Let's go. Slightly late, but we'll take it. Los just got a bucket real quick. And we're pushing it to 7. That's the whole moral of this, boys. We're pushing it to Game 7. And we're going to see what we can do in Game 7. Hopefully, Los can have an absolute insane Game 7. And we can actually end up winning the chip yet again. So, as you can see, Los had a very good game there. Shooting 11 for 22. Putting up a lot of shots, but he did a lot for the team. So, in Game 7, let's see what we got here. Obviously, as always, Simcast. We're going to see what we got. Unfortunately, they got a big lead on us right now, and it's looking like it's only getting bigger. As it's about a 20-point lead, and there's not much we can do about this, unfortunately. As we end up losing this series by about 20 points right there. James Wiseman gets Finals MVP. Cade Cunningham has an okay game. All of our players kind of underperformed in that Finals Game 7. Year 14, here we go. Los is now with the 76ers at their point guard position. I'm going to see what can happen. So Tyrese, yet again, MVP. Good for you. Definitely a very, very good player. Where is our guy Los? Did he make anything? All-NBA third team yet again. Huge W. Let's check these standings real quick. Third seed in the Eastern Conference for Los and the Sixers. Definitely good. So let's see his stats. See just how good he did on the season. Wow, Los, really good season. 26.9 points per game. Shooting 43 from 3, so definitely putting up more shots. So the three-pointer came down a little bit, but definitely a very, very great percentage from 3 is still. They still have Ben Simmons playing at that small forward position, as you can see. And let's see what we can do in the playoffs. Can we get Los another chip? I was hoping we were going to get it last year, but this year could be the year, in all honesty. We have a very good team yet again. First round matchup up against the Indiana Pacers that do have Devin Booker now, apparently. All tied up at 2-2. We take the edge 3-2, and we knock them out in 6, 4-2. Chet, very good game there. Los kind of taking the backseat. Second round, we got our matchup up against our old team, the Magic, with Jalen Green. And they did Los dirty. They were not happy he left. They just destroyed us, a 4-0. Moving into year 15 of the sim, Los is now with the Brooklyn Nets. Dude, this is crazy. He thinks he's Vince Carter or something, dude. But we're going to have to see what we can do here. So, Los, pretty solid season. 23.2 points per game. 98 overall still. Surprising that in year 15, this dude's still so good. But, looking at the coaching, let's take a little look as far as the rotations are going. So, Los starting point guard, and that's what the rest of the squad is looking like. As you can see, Los has been on a lot of different teams so far. I think this is number 5 or 6. 6, I think. Indiana Pacers first round, yet again. We did just play them last year with the Sixers. But I think that this squad's a little bit of a downgrade, honestly. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they upset us here. But let's see what we could do. 2-2. 3-2. And we actually end up beating them yet again the same way, 4-2. So in 6, Chet, once again a great game. Los taking the back seat. Second round, we're up against Tyrese Halliburton and the Detroit Pistons that did beat us in the playoffs about 2 seasons ago. And they have James Wiseman as well. Of course, I have to mention that. We're down 3-1, and we get routed in 5, 4-1. Definitely better than getting swept, but still not what you love to see. Los 34 points in that game. Year 16 of the sim. So in year 16, let's see where Los ended up. 94 overall. He's joined the Memphis Grizzlies. He's finally starting to hit that regression a little, down to a 94. Definitely expecting it with his old age, and I'm expecting maybe 1 or 2 more seasons out of him. But we're going to see what we can do. John Morant's actually coming off the bench as 6th man due to Los joining the team. We finished the 6th seed with the Grizzlies. Los dropping 21.4 points per game, 93 overall. First round, we got a matchup up against the OKC Thunder. Scotty Barnes is kind of leading that squad, so we're going to see what we can do. Get up early on them 3-0, and they get some games back, surprisingly. They take it to 7, and we actually pull out, thankfully. I did not want to blow a 3-0 lead. That would have been tragic. But second round matchup going to be up against the Rockets, my bad. This is a pretty good Rockets team, so it's not going to be an easy one by any means. And we actually get routed in 7. They get that big game 7 on us. Amani Bates, obviously, was absolutely destroying us. So, moving into year 17 of the sim, man. This is a long career for Los, I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect him to stay in the league this long. But, hey, year 17, let's take a look where Los ended up. Memphis Grizzlies yet again, so he stayed there. They have Los starting, and they still have Ja Morant coming off the bench as their bench point guard. So, a lot of very good guard play for this team. Jalen Johnson gets himself MVP. And let's check the standings. Number 1 seed, okay. Number 1 seed, big year. Los, only 19 points per game on the season. Not bad at an 89 overall. First round matchup is up against this Spurs team, and I don't think they're built to play with us, honestly. So, we end up actually destroying them 4-0. Clean sweep on their heads. We'll take that for sure. See how Los did in that game, honestly. Los went off. Big game. Timberwolves right here. RJ Hampton and the boys. Second round matchup. All tied up 2-2. They get a game 3-2. It's going to 7. And in 7, we get knocked out. Big tragic for the boys. 21 right there from Ja Morant. And of course, Los does the classic Los here. 84 overall Los. We need to find out where he's signing. So we got to sim apparently another week this time and say, so let's say Lospollostv'S, where are you, boy? Los has signed with the Toronto Raptors. Jesus. This man's playing bingo with all the friggin' NBA teams, man. So he is not starting. Los is coming off the bench as their 7th man at an 84 overall. Not bad by any means. We will take that. Definitely could be a big help on a championship contending team. So we're going to see what happens in this year 17. As, who gets MVP? Sky Clark gets MVP. James Wiseman still getting his Defensive Players of the Year. And we actually were one of the worst teams in the East. Not what you like to see. 17.7 points per game for Los. Moving into year 19 of the Sim. Year 19 of the Sim, Los is an 80 overall. He does not get picked up throughout the entire season. Stayed in free agency, so that probably resembles the end of the road for our guy Lospollostv'S. As he is right there in the player retirements with a lot of players from around his draft class. Wow, Marvin Bagley just retired too. Looking at the Hall of Fame inductees for the year, you got LaMelo Ball, Jalen Green, DeAndre Ayton, Lospollostv'S, and Bam Adebayo. Very great career for Los, obviously making the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure he's probably going to have a few records too, or at least be decently high on the list, so we're going to check those out to see kind of where Los finished all time. So all-time points, let's see where Los is. All-time points, we got Los at 48, so he is in the top 50 of all time. It's pretty impressive for a 5'9" player. Let's check some of these other things. 3-pointers made, he has to be pretty high on here, right? But that's kind of Los's thing. I'm surprised he's this low, honestly. We're in the 30s. So Los is number 40 all time among the 3-pointers made. And kind of maybe see assists in like high point games, maybe steals, because apparently he was a good defensive player for whatever reason. I was not expecting him to transition into a very good defender, but it did happen, so we will take it. Assist, I don't see Los. Let's check out steals, though. Let's see where he was steals all time. Oh, wow, surprisingly high, 12th all time in steals for Los. That's a huge W. And let's check out these high point performances. I know Los averaged over 20 points per game for his entire career, which is definitely a dub. I don't see Los on this list, so we're going to check out these team awards. But if you guys made it this far throughout the video, as always, comment GOAT, G-O-A-T, in all capitals down below. So I know that you are the Bean Squad that will watch through the entire videos. You are the realest of the real. So I could definitely say what's up. Also, let me know who you guys want me to do next for the normal career simulation down below. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace.